You find this gives off a lot of heat though, like when you're out here? No? It's all just going straight up.
A lot of the heat comes from hammering on the
Yeah.
hammer, right? That's
Work
why
out drinking, yeah.
it's warm up.
Yeah.
So is there anything particular you want to make?
I'm easy. I just, I'm whatever.
Make something that goes along with the industry that you're in.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking like a big meat hook.
Yeah.
Or
that would be pretty
make a
cool.
knife out of those spikes.
Whatever you think, I'm definitely in meat hook.
Most people usually enjoy the knives better.
Yeah. I think the knife would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Grab two spikes across there. So initially, we'll heat this end. You hammer it and draw it out. So you hang it over the anvil. You hammer, it's hot. You just turn half, back and forth.
Yeah.
Because the other side is also, every time you hit, the anvil's squishing it. So you just need to go back and forth like that.
Yep.
You draw it out enough. You stick it in the vise. Twist it, which is like twisting Play-Doh. You wouldn't believe how easy it is.
So you've already made a couple of those, eh? Yeah.
That was burnt. I just keep that to show people what happens if you leave it in the fire too long.
Okay.
And literally, like, here. Like if I smack that would just shatter.
Shatter, yeah. Yeah.
And that's what when you burn all the carbon out of it.
Yeah.
That's what happens. It's just completely useless.
Imagine, eh?
So this is coke. In other places, just look how light that is. Right? Piece of coke. And you can buy that. You can't even buy the coal here. Only one place temperature you can buy the coal. But it starts out like this. And that would just burn off. Like when I put that in here, like it's completely different, obviously, right?
Yeah.
It's just, so it's like making charcoal.
Right.
You got to put the coal in, heat it, coke it up, they call it.
Yeah.
You smother it, just like, when you make charcoal, you got to, you don't want it to catch fire. You just want to bake it, right?
Right.
So that's the only time this smokes, really, is at the beginning.
So it was just water, was that it?
Yeah, you just spray water on it, and you bake it instead of just burning it.
Right.
Now you can see like the stuff in back is on fire, and that would just burn off. It would never coke up if I just let it.
Okay.
So I got a bottle of water over there for you too. You want?
Yeah.
Squeeze it whenever it gets out of hand.
Okay, right on.
So
and you're just knocking the fire down, is what you're doing there, or is it,
yeah. So usually it's just there, and you can only heat up. You can only work so like this much before it cools off, anyways.
Right.
So you can have a big fire.
Yeah.
And you can heat up this big pot of steel if you want, but it cools down in
no time.
30 seconds.
Right.
So you don't have time to work that whole piece of hot steel. So you only need a small fire.
Right. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
So these are the best ones to work with.
Okay.
You grab those. So there's a hot spot and a cold spot. It's not actually cold. So down the bottom where the air is coming in, it's cold. It won't even get to the right temperature if you stuck it right on the bottom.
Right.
But gotta get to the hot spot. Not too far on top. You gotta have it all underneath the red.
Yeah.
So just take it and kind of screw it in there. Yeah. So about there. Yep. So not too far down, not too far up. Yep. You got it. I assume it's much like for you. Like this for me is a bit creativity and
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I picture the same thing. I love cooking. I know that you like to.
Yep.
Yep. I don't know who's a cook in the house. Who comes up with the recipes for your sausages and stuff?
We come up with those basically and mostly, just doing some research or something we might see off the top of our head. Like, for instance, we got a sausage. I brought some actually with us, like, pastrami and mustard sausage, right? So it's a take on the pastrami mustard sandwich, essentially. We make pastrami at the shop, and we said, well, this can go in a sausage.
Well, for me, what I find is that when I cook, I'm tasting the whole time.
Yeah.
But if you're working with raw ingredients...
Well, you get a lot of inspiration because of things that you've probably had before, right?
Yeah.
Hot pepper and cheese goes so well on nachos. Well, that's going to work in a sausage, right? We do a curry sausage, just take on curry, Chinese food or Indian food or whatever, and let's put it in a sausage. The beauty with sausages, you could absolutely put anything in them, right? You can go essentially right around the world with different recipes. And,
I guess they are everywhere. Right?
And it's just, it's fantastic. If you could think of it, you could put it in a sausage essentially or make a sausage out of it, right? We do a pizza sausage, At this point, we've done well over probably 60 different types of sausage. Right?
Well, I tell you, the two of my favorites were the honey garlic.
Yeah.
Which I normally don't like.
Right.
But yours had more garlic than usually they're just too sweet.
Yeah.
It just doesn't even taste like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the smoked.
Yeah.
Really like
Yeah, so we do a bunch of different smoked ones now. We do like an andouille one, that's a Cajun type sausage. We do, smoked cheddar and pepperoni. We've done the Bresners, which is what we actually take some of those and we pickle them, like, the pickled wieners that we all have eaten here, And, we've taken that concept and used the sausage, and they come out fabulous, right?
Let's see. Let's see if it's hot yet.
So you essentially want that to glow, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Even here, look at this. I have a little chart of colors. So this is way too cold.
Right.
You want to get it past red.
Yep.
Up into a bright orange to a yellow. And you'll be able to hear it too. So when you start hammering, there'll be, if it's too cold, it'll ring.
Right.
So a lot of forges, you'll see they have these big hoods over, they're sucking the air out.
Yeah.
But this one, like you can see, it's going sideways, right? The smoke's not coming up.
No.
And all it is like a wood stove.
100%. You got a good draw there.
Yeah. You just get the chimney nice and high, nice and straight.
Yeah.
And actually, when I've fixed other forges, I've gone in, the problem was the hole was too big. Smaller hole, It's just like when you put your thumb over the end of the garden hose.
Yeah, 100%.
Water shoots out.
Yeah.
Hole's too big. Same thing here.
Yeah.
So the first heat, take yours in there. Take yours up. So grab it as close to this end as possible. I'll show you first. You kind of pull it towards you, and you can hear the difference, though, right?
Yeah.
You just do a 90-degree turn, unless it starts to get a little wonky, but you can always fix it at the end. Doesn't matter if it goes out of shape.
Right.
Oliver, you can do another one. Usually you can do 2 or 3. So a lot of times, I don't know if you want to have a glove on. That's how you feel about getting burnt. I usually have a left one on.
I'm pretty unsafe guy, so I usually... Normally, I probably have flip-flops on doing this type of thing. People make fun of me.
Summertime, too. I do. I have shorts. I'm not here. So I have cut with the shorts on, the pair of sandals on. But this one, sometimes things end up getting hot. So I always, I've destroyed all my left gloves. I have a whole collection of right gloves.
Okay, right on. Yeah.
Because I find I can't hold a hammer.
Yeah.
So, and I always say, a lot of times, women are better at this in the beginning than men.
Yeah.
Because women will actually look at it and they go, oh, it's too hard. They'll put it back in the fire, or they'd sound. But men will just smash, trying to work, But
so the key is not to.
When it gets cold, you can hit when it gets soft. You can actually almost destroy it when it's soft.
Okay. But regardless of force, am I coming down as hard as I pretty well can? Or
depends on what your aim is like. Okay. Oh, and also these sparks. Long thing once the metal's burning.
Okay. Yeah.
Just turn it off right away.
Yep.
Okay, I think yours is pretty hot there, so just grab the least amount that you can. And on the corners, you see that's made to go, right there. Here you go.
Okay.
Grab the hammer, kind of pull that head of it towards you. Yeah, there you go. So try and come up close to the head. Yeah, there you go.
And back, eh?
Yep, back and forth, back and forth. Pull it towards you, there you go, yeah. There you go, yeah. And now it's too cold. Let me know if you can feel the difference.
Yep.
I'll take this time. I should make another set of tongs.
I'll get to hang.
But it's a bit of therapy too.
100%, yeah.
Right? So now when you're at that point where you are, you're just basically trying to square it off. See, I got that bump there.
Right.
And when you got it drawn out to about that size, you don't want it too small or be too small for your hand.
Yep.
Then you knock these corners off so it doesn't hurt your hand. So just
okay. Yeah.
Just that. Just simple little taps just to knock those corners off. And then after that, we'll twist. And also, you want to keep your anvil clean.
Yeah. No.
But
there you go. Lovely. I brought some as well, so.
I couldn't get them sold out everywhere.
Yeah, it's doing really well, actually. I managed to pick up a few down one of the stores here a couple of days ago. And
well, I went to every store. I did a liquor store, and I was in the liquor stores today, and so people have been asking for it for weeks.
Yeah.
The Newlander beer.
Which is nice. Cheers. Yeah. So I'm an avid home brewer. I
found that out today.
I have been for years and years. Started homebrewing basically just out of high school.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, so I've been at it for a while, right? And I got to know the guys, of course, through a group we're in, New Fermenters, and So I met Keith through there originally, which is a homebrew group here in Newfoundland. Anyway, through the Jigs and Reels, they asked us if we'd be interested in doing a little beer collaboration, and jumped all over it.
So you knew you were into it already.
Yeah.
I went by today and saw Josh.
Yeah.
He said you were there the whole day. I said, was he really in brewing with you? And he said, yeah, he was in all day. He said,
oh yeah, yeah. It's been a while since I brewed because of the shop, of course, and you know, it's something you're going to do, especially if you're doing all grain. You're going to be doing it the whole day, right? You want to put aside the whole day to do it, and just because we've been so busy and stuff like that, I kind of stuck the gear away and been just focusing on the shop and stuff, right? But I, you know, that rekindled. I said, oh, God, I got to get the gear out of here.
Brewing again since?
Yeah,
well, I need to now.
Well, yeah, right. But no, so I went down, spent the day, and he said, Steve, usually when we do a collab, like people usually stick around for a couple hours.
That's what Josh was saying.
No, I got to see that yeast go in the war, man. Yeah.
Well, it was nice to look when I went to the liquor store. First thing I said, I'm looking for a Newlander and I made by. I couldn't even get 9 penny out, and she was like, "Oh yeah, people have been asking for that beer." She said, "Yeah, they're out for a couple of weeks now."
Yeah.
Went to all the stores along shore.
I love all types of beer. I brew all types of beer, but for me, it's like you just, you know, you're out in the forge, you're just finished, or day after work, and I love the English ales. You know, it's a style of beer that I always loved anyway. And it's like that blue collar beer, right? You're going to be able to, you can drink a few of them and not be, you know, tipsy or whatever, and it just goes great with everything. I feel like it's a great beer because anyone can really enjoy it, even those that drink, you know, the micro beers and stuff like that can manage to get one of those down. You know what I mean?
Flavor.
Yeah.
When you can get a hold of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you don't need to hit it so hard this time. You can kind of just try and get it to nice and even out.
So I'm just kind of like,
yeah, just get it smooth and yeah, and a bit longer, a bit more. Yeah, a bit more towards you. Hit that. Yeah, flat. In the beginning, people have to heat it usually a half dozen times. So.
Okay.
So now we get it up to red. Well, not red hot. Because red hot's not hot enough. Stick yours in a little further. It's in the vise. You can clamp it on here.
Yeah.
Both hands. And you do 1.5.
Okay.
You'll see. And you'll be surprised at how easy it is.
Yep.
Although I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
With your brute strength, you will eventually be able to twist this steel like Superman. How's it? Twist steel.
And then I guess the knife part, you just really just come down and flatten that out, hey?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll quench that in. Sometimes I do it in water, but we'll do it in oil. Get a bit of flame today. There you go. Yep. Down more, down more, down more, down more, down more. There. Maybe even a little bit more. Yep. Lift it up. There you go.
Yep.
Good. Yep. Yep. All the way to that. Facing towards you again.
And then a little bend towards me.
Yep, a little bend towards you. That's good. So now we'll put them up both in so that we go right through the fire. So like I say, that narrow tip doesn't heat first. Nothing to it. Jesus.
That's easy.
So, how long is the shop been open?
We opened up in 2022, October, or sorry, November 2022. So we're just over a year and a half. Yeah. Yeah.
And I tell you, it's, at least for me, it's been great. Like we had nothing like that here on the shore.
No. No. So the last time we actually had something remotely like it, I guess, it was much bigger scale than what Newlander is. I worked in a butcher shop here on the shore. Back when I was in high school is when I started. So I worked at a place called Murray's Meats. It was here actually where the Shoppers and the A&W is. So all that land there was Murray's Meats.
Yeah, they were a pretty big operation. Right?
It was a big operation there, yeah. But a humble beginning. Like then it started off as a guy that was selling meat and stuff, and grew that business. I ended up getting a job there actually on cleanup in high school.
So as a young man, you started selling your meat at an early age.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I went there. God, I was in grade 11, I guess. A friend of mine actually at the time too was working there and got me a job, and
nice.
So I got exposed to like a lot of the equipment. This is where I seen like a first grinder, a commercial grinder, and a sausage stuffer, and you know, meat saws and stuff like that. And I cleaned them. So I would go in after school, and we would clean the production area, right? So I used to take those apart, clean them, put them back together. So I got really familiar with the gear, and that's essentially where
that makes a big difference.
A huge difference, you know.
No, like that's the same thing. You fix something,
Yeah.
You know how to deal with every problem.
Well,
right?
100%. Well, like a lot of tradespeople. I mean, they got their trade, as kids, taking apart an old radio or whatever, their old remote control truck and stuff like that. And that's where they get the interest from there, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of grow from there. Some people will take it and then, whether they become mechanics or engineers or what have you, right? It kind of develops into that. I love that. I love to go into restaurants and like anyone, like I think the Merchant Tavern's one that you could actually sit down and look and see what's going on. I always want to sit and face. I just love watching people work at their craft.
Down there the other day, we sat at the Raw Bar.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I just love the whole craft. People in their trade working. I could sit up here in the corner and watch you, do this, and be well entertained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I'll show you first. So I'll heat this one right up. Pull it out. So what you want to do now is start back here and draw it out that way. You can hear the thud.
Yes.
Different, right? So you see how I start down here and hammer towards the front.
Yeah.
Start back down here. But eventually that will just get flat like a pancake. So you got to switch it every now and then. And this will extend this pipe. We'll show you next to another spike when I'm done.
Yeah.
It adds 3 or 4 inches onto the length of it. And I just go back and forth, but eventually that twist will be all on one side if I don't. So every now and then at the end I do that.
Right.
But you can see every smack, if the anvil's dirty,
It'll take the impression of it, yeah.
yeah, it takes that impression. You don't have a smooth knife anymore.
Right.
Yours gone?
Good?
No, is your beer gone?
Oh, yeah, pretty well. I have one more mouthful there. This is well senior area.
This is normally a coal bucket, but
right.
I use it as a cooler.
Water is down there.
Anywhere is good here.
Yeah.
See, that's a good thing also about being in a forge or the garage.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to worry about where you put your beer can. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it'll keep bending if you have the tongs on the anvil. If you take it out so your tongs are off the anvil,
Okay.
right, then it'll stay flat. So you won't get that bend in it. And you hear that ding. Yep, that's cooled off. You
Yep.
got it. They say this is the oldest occupation. Older than prostitution.
Well, I was going to say. Yeah.
That's what they say.
Okay.
And even the blacksmiths were considered magic and renowned, like the work they used to do. And also, the history of in a forge, they say the horseshoe for good luck. In a forge, the horseshoe was hung the other way because that's where the luck went in. When the blacksmith was making the horseshoe, the magic of the blacksmith
Would fill the horseshoe because the whole thing of having the horseshoe, the luck falls out of it or something, right? Yeah. Yeah.
The horseshoes you'll see are hung the opposite way in forges.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Steel knives will always, compared to stainless steel knives, always have a better edge, I find.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You just got to treat them like a sword. You got to dry them because they will rust. If you don't. Yeah, you guys must have.
Yeah,
do you have prize knives that you?
Yes. Yeah. We had,
So I had started one time. That's out of a leaf spring, which is great to use.
Yeah.
But I quenched it in water.
Oh, okay.
Look at those cracks.
Yeah.
That chip fell out. That's just from quenching it in water.
Okay. So what's the difference between water and oil when you're doing that?
It just quenches it slower. It quenches it, but more evenly and slower. As soon as you stick it in the water, the temperature change right next to it is different compared to the oil, and it quenches really fast. It's just like a shock.
You're right. Yeah.
So the oil will do it a little slower.
Yeah.
I have leaf springs.
Yeah.
For making knives.
Yeah.
Maybe you should come by sometime. We'll do the fun of it. Make a couple of cleavers.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Brothers brought them back from Asia, and they are like
you just come down on them. Yeah.
Just for the bone.
Yeah. We got a couple ones that we use when we're doing like butchery lamb and stuff like that, right? That you're splitting bones like to handle here, and they can take it, right? Especially back in the day before meat saws and stuff like that.
Yeah, really.
It was the way it was done,
But if you're like, I know I've tried to cut some meat, and it's just like even the way I've seen butchers hold a knife would be completely different than I would think.
Yeah.
Hold it and everything.
And you know, when you hold it like kind of like this, you know, this especially when you're breaking down animals, and
Yeah,
stuff
that's
like
it.
that. That's when you really get into a lot of different
I love
techniques and
king,
stuff.
moose and deer.
Yeah, right. You know, cutting like steaks, for instance, is pretty a standard thing. But when you break down animals, you know, it's a different.
Could you do that if I brought you moose? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was, I guess, before I got into.
It's not something you guys offer at the shop.
No, we do. We will do moose sausage, right? But what we require is, because of the retail and different things, what we require is folks bring in moose that is deboned and clean, right? So in regards to clean, I don't want to see hairs and stuff on it, and you know, that's just taking care of your animal, right?
Yeah.
And that way we could, you know, just take it, and all we need to do is grind it. We're not in there, you know, actually having to debone meat and stuff like that, right? But yeah, we do moose sausage for folks and burgers and ground beef.
Yeah.
Some people come in and just want some ground beef, and we'll do that for them, not a problem.
Motherfucker, what's hot? I usually try and keep everything that's on the table as hot.
Yeah,
It's the only way.
yeah.
But I burn myself every time.
So this kind of weird shape I got
That's
going.
nothing.
Yeah,
So like people say about burning yourself, I read one time, it was called a Backyard Blacksmith, this book the female blacksmith had written. People said, "Do you burn yourself in the forge?" And I said, "Well, when you're learning out, first time you got in the forge, you'll burn yourself." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, that hurt."
yeah,
Second time you go out, you're more, you know, you'll burn yourself still,
right.
but it won't hurt as much. And every time afterwards you go out in the forge, you'll burn yourself. Every single time, it just hurts a little less.
Yeah,
You get
you're gonna get used to it. Yeah.
So what's out of your job? What's the favorite part? What do you like doing the most?
I love being down in the butchery itself. Like I love the, you know, there's always running a business and stuff. You kind of got to wear all those hats, right? But getting down with the guys and getting your hands dirty, so to speak, you know.
I've gone in there. You guys are flat out. Son.
Yeah, yeah. So it's great, you know, to be able to get in and do some different things and, you know, come up with some different ideas. Because, you know, it's a butcher shop. Foremost, you know, we're there to, you know, for, you know, steaks and roasts and different ground meat and stuff. But
Which I love.
Yeah.
And I love the big, nice, beautiful cut of meat.
100%.
But the interesting stuff is really
The interesting
new
stuff
things you bring out.
Yeah, so when
That's
you
what-
go in and you see all the different types of sausage, and you know, we started doing like these pinwheels, and we done like this
Yes.
cheeseburger Wellington and different things like that.
Oh yeah,
It's just
I
like
saw that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's and we do different burgers and stuff like that.
Did you see those sparks just then?
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
don't know if it's yours or mine. All right. It won't be your prize next. But that's what, so when it burns like that.
yeah,
That's it. That's the carb burn. That's
Yeah.
just my fault. That's
no worries.
my
So
fault.
yeah, so
Drink it back in, heat it up, and go over there. So now.
that was the carbon. Hey, just
Yeah.
burning out of it. Hey, wow.
Is it? Once that's gone, it's gone, right?
Yeah,
So you want to not keep that, and like obviously I can go a lot thinner there.
Right.
Make this wider.
yeah,
But you don't want to have to grind that whole shape.
No,
down
right, yeah.
either, right. So this is not really hot enough. You want to make sure that your hammer's tipped a little bit.
Gotcha.
But you know, sometimes it can be tipped towards the end so that your hammer hangs over.
yeah,
Because if I hear, I'm just going to keep hitting my anvil. Right?
yeah.
So you hit there, get that little, shape that edge. But you can always take that meat and make it thicker later too, right? So I can
Right.
hammer that more. Now that's mine burning. Love it.
Interesting.
That's what it looks like when you burn. And watch when you hit it.
Wow.
I wish you took a picture of that.
I don't care, it's mine. I didn't do that to yours. And I love the history of it. And, you know, I'm working with it. It's,
Yeah.
You really connect with it when you're doing it this way.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of like us down to the shop too. I mean, you could get a machine these days to essentially do everything for you, right? I mean, you put a full primal in and it'll cut it like a laser beam, you know, perfect tenon steaks, you know, and stuff. But, you know, that's why you come in and you see all different sizes and cuts and stuff like that. It's just, you know, we did that, right? You know what I mean? It to
But
us,
and
it's
at
a
the same
connection
time,
to it too.
I bought steaks from amateurs. And
Yeah.
I go to cook it, and I go,
Yeah,
this part's well done.
Yeah,
Well, this part's
yeah.
rare because it's so uneven.
right. Yeah.
So you got to know what you're doing to do it right.
Oh,
for
100%,
sure,
right? You know, anyone that you're kind of training in, you let them, break down a chuck or something like that, right? They're not doing the tenderloins and stuff right off the bat, right?
Imagine.
Yeah. Get you to do this, Edgar. That's right. It's getting there, right?
Yes. Now, I'd say next, make a tip. Because you got a rounded tip here.
So what I'm going to do is basically strike it like back here for the tip.
Depends on what you want. If you want it to be a point, put it on its end and hit like this.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is that if that's you want a point on
Yep.
it?
Yeah. Well, somewhat of a point, I guess. So how long have you been blacksmithing for? Like,
probably 12 years.
okay. I just love your stuff. The first, I've seen the one obviously you got down in Kitty Vitty was the first one I've seen that you've done, right? It's amazing. I mean,
Well, the first one I did was down at Mallard.
yeah. So you done Todd's barbecue setups. And
Yeah,
stuff
I
that he
did
had
that too. I built that whole pit out
Yeah.
there. But the scopes are in the back.
Right. Because he was hanging stuff off that fish that kind of went over, was he? Okay. Yeah.
Once I sell something, I don't care.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so get ready to dip it in. There you go. Dip it in right down.
Okay, right on.
Yep, stir it around a little bit. Not like chips, just in gravy.
Yeah,
Hold on a
right.
second.
Same thing.
Oh, it's boiling. There you go. That's done.
Cool.
Oh, that's why you didn't stir it around long. There's gunk at the bottom. Look at this.
I got a couple here for you. Let's do. Do you like curry?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My
So we'll
boy's
leave
favorite too, curry.
Okay. So let's leave that one. I'm not going to do.
Just to let you know, I'd still eat it if it fell off.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first thing to heat it up. I had a duck breast out to thaw the other night, left it out overnight. I was rotted.
Okay.
I still ate it though. Oh my God, those look good.
Yeah. So we got a taco. This is what we done today, right? Blueberry curry, taco, and this is the pastrami and mustard one I was telling you about.
I mean, you can't get much more sanitary than
No.
1900 degrees.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's pretty hot.
Well, that's just going to charge. It's too hot.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Look at that. I'm going to turn it over. You don't have a knife in your pocket, Ian, do you?
There you go. I'll let you use your knife for that. If you just get to move, I think it would be.
Maybe out to the edge.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. All right. I mean, I'm going to have a bit of char on. But... If you could flatten them down a bit, it'd be. Yeah, there you go.
See, you should know. You're the man for that.
It's starting to smoke. Some of the same kind of principle.
So, can I just eat that today?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Pink in the middle of that.
it's pink in the middle, but it's fresh pork. You're going to be fine.
Or I do pig. If pig ran in front of me, I'd eat it. I'm not that big. Oh, that's a curry one.
That's curry, yeah. Delicious.
Yeah.
There. Well, follow intro. We're here.
Here. Cheers.
Cheers.
I like it.
You still taste the curry, so
1800 degree curry.
That's pretty cool. That's the first time I've done that.
You know, in the film industry, nowadays when they have a lot of times when they do digital, they'll fill the place with smoke to make it look like old-fashioned film.
Yeah.
This is gonna look as old-fashioned as it gets. I enjoyed that. Thank you very much.
Awesome, buddy. Yep.
Amazing, isn't it? We burnt them both. You know, yours? Yeah. My fingers are burned.